The abrupt downturn in English club fortunes in Europe this season has prompted an immediate reaction at Northampton, who have sacked their director of rugby, Jim Mallinder, with immediate effect. Mallinder enjoyed a good deal of success during his decade at Franklin's Gardens, but his team have now lost their past 8 games in major competitions. While it is only 3.5 years since Northampton were crowned champions of England, the Saints have suffered some dire recent results, and Saturday's painful home defeat by Ospreys proved the final straw. Northampton were 438 down at the start of the final quarter, prompting many supporters to leave the stadium early. Saints have also lost the last 5 Premiership games and have slipped to 10th in the table, with only Worcester and London Irish beneath them. Under Mallinder, however, the club reached the 2011 European Cup final against Leinster and also lifted the European Challenge Cup and the Anglo-Welsh Cup. Alan Dickens, their attack coach, will take over as interim head coach, but with a permanent replacement for Mallinder unlikely to arrive before next summer. The club are also seeking a fresh coaching voice for the remainder of this campaign. "We will look to bolster our existing coaching group with some additional leadership and experience on a short-term basis for this season," said the Saints chairman, John White. Finding a world-class successor for Mallinder will not be a straightforward process, the Saints' East Midlands rivals Leicester discovered last season, having parted company with the long-serving Richard Cockerell. White, however, acknowledged recent results had forced the club's hand. "This is not a decision that has been taken lightly, but the board and major shareholders felt that the time was right for some change," he said. He also said that Mallinder's departure was in the best interest of the club. With popular former players such as Pat Lam and Gregor Townsend having only just taken over at Bristol and Scotland respectively, it will be interesting to see in which new direction the club opt to go. One possible name in the frame could be Stuart Lancaster, the former England coach currently assisting Leo Cullen at Leinster, unless the club tap into the extensive knowledge of their former head coach Wayne Smith and recruit a top New Zealand coach. The former Saints players Ali Heifer and Rob Hunter have both been integral cogs in Exeter's successful coaching setup, but they would take a lot of prizing away from the Chiefs. With Saints having only recently installed White as chairman and appointed a new chief executive, Mark Darbin, a wind of change is certainly blowing through a club that endured a similar period of upheaval, including relegation, before Mallinder's appointment in 2007. Harry Mallinder, the highly rated son of the outgoing director of rugby, recently signed a new contract to remain at the club until at least 2020. Photograph Paul Child's action images via Reuters. Complicating the situation further is the fact that Harry Mallinder, the highly rated son of the departing director of rugby, recently signed a new contract to remain at the club until at least 2020. The England captain, Dylan Hartley, also signed a new contract in the summer, and Saints have spent a sizable chunk of next season's salary cap already on the Wales fly half Dan Biggar, who has agreed to join from Ospreys. It also raises the uncomfortable issue of the shrinking shelf life of Premiership head coaches. With Cockerell and Mallinder having now moved on within a year of each other, and Worcester also looking for a new permanent director of rugby to replace the departing Gary Gold, the Midlands coaching landscape has rarely been more fluid. It remains to be seen, however, whether Northampton will be bold enough to hand over control to an up-and-coming young English coach with no head coaching experience.